Good morning, children. Sairam. Now, let's get to the mainstream of social science, that is history. Do you know why history is so important for us, children? We keep remembering dates, we keep calculating, or you can say, we keep on summing up the events as well as the phenomena, procedures, etc. in our records. Now, what are the records? Why do we keep this track of these dates and timeline? Can anyone of you think about this? Or else I can say that why do we have to remember things which people just like us have already done? They have passed it off. That is, they have already done the things, and now we have to think about them. We have to memorize these dates, timelines, the wars, the victories, isn't it? But why do we remember this? For what? Just for giving question answers? Just to get full marks? Or just to have the knowledge about what they did? What is your answer? Can any one of you tell? Think, and then you can pop up your answers when we'll get back to the school. Okay, the main thing, what my answer to you all is, history means a story where you learn things from the chapter, from the topics which are given to you. When we read history, though it is very boring, but because it is not boring because it is history, it is boring because it needs a lot of patience to sit, read, and understand the story, problems, solutions of the things, incidents which happened with some people just like us few years back, or a million years back, 100 years back, right? And what is the irony in this, children? Whatever the people have done in the past repeats itself. This is a famous saying that history repeats itself. Yes, indeed, people keep on doing the same mistakes and still they have complaints why we are not getting successful, why we are not able to succeed in life. Nobody has that initial strategy of learning from what people have lost because of their foolishness. Instead, people keep on committing the same mistakes without, or you can say with guidance, with tremendous guidance and guidelines from the ancient rulers, and you can say the people who lost the battles. But people keep on actually repeating those mistakes and those prominent faults again and again. So today we are going to read chapter number 3, ruling the countryside. Now, what is the countryside? In general English, or you can say, when in our country there is no as such countryside. We either call it village or town, or you can simply address it as low-lying areas. Okay, but countryside, according to the Britishers, means the according to what ideology they had, the countryside was actually the area migrated by people who are actually of no use and purpose. Fine. In short, village people. Now, before coming and proceeding ahead with the chapter, I will give you some important terms. Kindly hear them. You will get to write the definition in the PDF, and you can have from NCERT textbook also. But before the writing work, children, I want you to be thorough with the congenial terms. First is countryside. Okay, countryside means rural areas. Okay, then another word which is going to come to you is this all, and these terms you've already studied in 7th standard. Yes, children, do not make faces and do not overload your mind. You know these terms perpetually in 6th and 7th standard. You know, I don't say that you are conversant, but you might have heard. I hope Sunita ma'am has taught you history properly, but I don't know whether you understood or not. She taught you well, isn't it? Okay, getting back to the first term, that is permanent settlement. Under this settlement, it was decided that the rates of revenues once fixed would not be changed. Under this settlement, it was decided that the rates of revenue once fixed would not change. Fine. Next word, Mehalwari settlement. What was this? Under this system, the rates of revenue were to be revised periodically, not to be fixed permanently. Now, Rohiti, that is the cultivator. Indigo. Indigo is a big word which changed the life of the Indian cultivators and Indian agriculture. Sorry, children. Sorry to get distract as well as interrupt you. Now, plantations. A large farm operated by a planter employing various forms of forced labor. Plantations are associated with the production of coffee, sugarcane, tobacco, tea, and cotton. Woad, a plant that produces violet and blue dyes. WOAD, that is wood. Slave, a person who is owned by someone else, that is the slave owner. A slave enjoys no freedom and is compelled to work for his master. Bhiga, a unit of measurement of land. Satta, a contract or agreement. Vat, a fermenting or storage vessel. Kindly do not associate it with the current state called as the VAT, GST and tax. No, children, this VAT means a fermenting or storage vessel. Now, Gomastha, agents of planters. Fine. What else is left? Is there anything which is left? No. Now, when we are talking about royalty, revenue, tax, cultivators, these words are so much interrupting, no? Why? Who is going to collect tax? Whose land? Who is the owner? What is the plantation? Who is the planter? Who is a slave? Who is going to take hold of the slave? So many terms, no? And so much of confusion. Fine. One person having a land and the other who's not having the land. One person who decides to keep some people or few people, 1, 2, 3 or more, okay, on his own land in order to give these people who do not have a land to employ them. He says that this land is mine and I want you to work for me. You have to grow tea, coffee, sugar, etc. for me with the conditions that I am going to tell you. And the employee, okay, the employee is a slave and he has to work according to the conditions that has been set by the employer. Fine, children. Till then, children, before proceeding ahead, I want you to be thorough with these particular terms, and you'll be receiving a PDF today. It's Tuesday. You'll be receiving a PDF soon with the short notes, question answers, true and false, as well as match the following. I want you all to put the date neat and clean as the way I am giving you the PDF. And please, children, kindly keep on learning, because it may happen that you might have your exams maybe in the first week of October or by the end of the September, right? So be prepared with your with your content. Fine, children. And one more point that I wanted to discuss with you, children. um Many of you who are having doubts, you can ask your doubts. You can write, you can actually WhatsApp, you can send your messages related to doubts. But these doubts does not comprise of asking ma'am which notebooks to be made, how. That is okay, but please children, give a feedback what you've understood in English or what you've understood in history. Please children, kindly send a feedback. Do not send a feedback, please send your doubts. Fine. And from this week onwards, from the next, that is upcoming week, you guys are going to have a worksheet, and those worksheet, the completion of those worksheets will be requiring a thorough study. I repeat, a thorough study of the text chapter, and you need to be very thorough and conversant with each chapter. So I request you that be thorough with your textbooks. Thank you. Sairam. Have a good day ahead.